Wagwan guys, today I'll be telling you why you should ignore every freelancing tip you've ever had. I bet you must have gotten some of these freelancing tips we are about to debunk right now. And for those of them that are not totally wrong but may have been misconstrued, we would set things straight. Freelancing can actually be a taxing journey, but not all freelance advice you get on YouTube, on Medium, on LinkedIn, or anywhere else is to be followed hook, line, and sinker, especially if the advisor has a course or coaching they are trying to sell to you. Here are some of the craziest freelancing tips you should consider tossing aside in 2025. Number 1, always say yes to every gig.
Yes.
Why being open to every opportunity is quite essential, but saying yes to every single job that comes your way can actually lead to burnout and you taking on unprofitable projects that would actually just weary you out and discourage you from freelancing altogether. So my advice for you in 2025 is to be selective. Like the same way the client is taking their time to select the appropriate freelancer, as a freelancer, you should be taking your time to select the appropriate project you want to work on. It is better not to get a job and be hopeful than to take a job you foresee will lead to a bad experience for you and your client. Ultimately, it will cause the client to give you a bad review. Also, you can get so busy doing a job that doesn't align with your person, getting so busy that you start to miss out on chasing those jobs that are actually better for you. Number 2, work for exposure. The infamous exposure thing. I made a whole video about exposure payment. It won't pay your bills or put food on your table. So for freelancers, for instance, whether you are a graphic designer, the laptop that you use suffer a gradual, unnoticeable wear and tear over time. The components start to break down after some times. With each use, you are using a bit of every component of that laptop. The electricity cost you are using to do the project, the cost of your continuous improvement on your skill, whether you need to take course, watch video on YouTube, those things cost you a bit in terms of your data cost. So those things are supposed to be considered, and exposure most likely does not pay or recoup those expenditures for you. That aside, value your skills and charge accordingly. Exposure doesn't pay rent. In fact, please take it as a red flag when a client is negotiating down your service fee in promise to give you exposure or referral. Cheap clients typically refer cheap clients like themselves, which is not the direction you want to go in as a creative. So please like this video if you appreciate this post. Thanks for being appreciative. Number 3, lower your rate to get more clients. Lowering your rate may attract clients initially, which is even something I advise that you can do for your front. You need to have like a number of clients that you need to stop that. Like maybe typically after getting your first client, jazz up your rate. If you don't get your first client, it's okay. But after getting your first client, jazz up your rate. If you don't do that, you get stuck in charging lower, and clients will begin to see you that way. You begin to build your freelance career that way. Anybody they refer to you will begin to see you that way. It's actually very difficult to break out of that. Like it took me some deliberate strategies, some deliberate effort to break out of myself. Even that was when I was on campus charging 1,000 naira for a logo, to now that I'm outside campus that I can charge as high as 100,000, 150,000 or more for a logo, because undercharging actually set a dangerous precedent for you. Even if the client promised to refer you, most times, and that is if they even eventually refer you, they typically refer you to some troublesome and low-paying clients. Instead, focus on showcasing your value and expertise. You want quality clients, not quantity. I told you about the guy who made over $100,000 from just 3 clients on Upwork. Then note that these tips I'm giving is about freelancing generally, not limited to just Upwork. It works on Fiverr, and even if you are freelancing off Fiverr and Upwork. After a few months or years, you are 100% certain you know your onions. You should start to charge a premium. As I grew higher in freelancing, I realized that clients who pay you less stress you more. Number 4, freelancers don't need contracts. Thanks for Upwork. Like Upwork actually help you bypass some of those contractual drafting needs. Like you can just click yes. Upwork already does that for you. But then remember, not every freelancer works on Upwork. So if you are such freelancer, you need a contract. Contract protect both you and your clients. Upwork makes it easier, but when you meet and intend to work with a client outside of Upwork, create a simple contract. You can even use AI like ChatGPT to create the contract for you. Clearly outline your project scope, payment terms, and deadline in the contract. I have worked with difficult clients who hire you for ABC, and after the contract starts, they start claiming DEFGH was part of the work scope from the beginning. So your contract that you've drafted, your written contract, is something that you would need to make reference to. In that case, you don't have to be rigid. So you can simply refer a client to the contract when the need arises. Number 5, multitasking is the key. I'm a proponent of niching up, being versatile, because I'm very versatile myself. You must have heard me talk about my video editing project. You must have heard me talk about my product design project. You must have heard me talk about my graphic design project. I think somewhere in this video, like I talked about logo design, I am actually versatile. And I actually, for example, I've not done any logo design in the last maybe 6 months because I'm gradually leaving that. I don't bid for those kind of jobs anymore. So because I am quite versatile, this makes multitasking a thing for me. I try to do anything to ensure that my client gets the most value. Then in as much as I am a multitasker to a degree, and now I'm telling you not to multitask, to clients that I present myself to as a video editor, the only thing I do for them is video editing. I don't present myself as a video editor, social media strategies, and logo designer. Even though I can do all those things, I don't present myself as that upfront or enter into a contract with that ab initio. Like what I do is get hired as a video editor. I've been able to do the first project, I've been able to do the second project, and I am able to deliver excellent on the first and the second project. Then maybe we are even on the 5th project. I cannot tell the client that, I see you need a social media. Okay, I can handle your social media tags too. Because of the credibility I have built from working for that person as a video editor, now I can pitch another service. So if that is what you are doing, that is great. So I multitask sometimes. However, multitasking has its red flags. Multitasking can lead to sloppy work and you missing deadline because you want to be the social media manager of that same client. You want to be the graphic designer. You want to be the video editor of that same client. It's just better for you to focus on just that one service you are offering to the client, and maybe you refer your friends. Like I sometimes refer my friends to project, or let the client go and look for other freelancers. So talking about referring my friends to projects, so you can comment with what you do in the comment section so I can just have you in mind, especially if you're on the WhatsApp group. Sometimes I post the job on the WhatsApp group. So I can decide that, okay, because I am editing your YouTube video, don't worry, I will do your thumbnail design for you. But when I want to do that for clients, I don't tell them that upfront. I just discuss the video editing. I know that they are going to need thumbnail, especially if the YouTuber is a new YouTuber. So I'm going to edit the video. We are going to grab the contract as me just being their video editor. Then after the contract has started, after I've done the video, I'll now send them the thumbnail design as a surprise package. Do you understand? That way it is appreciated more and it is not seen as something I must do. So number 6, work 24 hours to succeed. You don't have to work 24 hours to succeed. If I keep spending my nights working on and on, sending proposals, which is the best time for Nigerians as clients are actually active at those hours, then I kept spending my days chasing deadline, I will surely burn out that way. I am not a machine, I am a human. Recreation is fuel your body needs to keep being productive. So since freelancing doesn't involve having like a structured work or close work time like 9 to 5 job, you can find yourself actually overworking without knowing. Freelancers need rest too. Burnout is actually not good for your creativity. So you need to set the time. You can say, today I'm sending out proposals. So if I spend all my nights sending out proposals, that would not be the day that I would be working on a very demanding project the next morning. That would not be the day that I would decide to shoot maybe 10 YouTube videos. No. So you need to space things out so you don't burn yourself out. But the good part is that if I outsource some parts of the project to my other guys to work on, I will be able to deliver the 2 projects faster because I can have the 2 projects being worked upon simultaneously. So number 7, never turn down a revision request. Revisions are a typical part of freelance gigs. I honor revision and I do do my best to ensure that my client is 101% satisfied. However, I don't get myself pushed around like a pack of trash. I push back when necessary because clients sometimes don't know what they want, and they can actually drag you into unrealistic loops that leads nowhere but waste your time and leaves you drained as a freelancer. Amazingly, most clients I have worked with appreciate my pushbacks since I do so respectfully, and I ensure that they can see that I have their utmost interest at heart as I show concern for their work and I go flexible on necessary parts. I am an expert, and sometimes the client may not know what may hurt the project. So I softly explain to them that this is how to go about it. For example, like a client gave a description of the logo they want. It's just like, let me put it, I would exaggerate a bit, like put an elephant, put a lion, put a tiger, put a dove, put a blah, 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 blah. So I looked at that. I did the first sample of the logo. That was some years back. I did the first sample of the logo, following exactly the instruction of the client, though I know it's ridiculous. I followed the instruction. I did it the exact way the client asked. And then I did the second one using my own intuition and professional judgment, using some minimalistic thing to make allusion to a dove, but not having the full dove image. You just make some allusions to it and it looks more minimalistic and modern. So I believe that when I send it to the client, that the client is going to pick the one that is minimalistic. But no, when I send it to the client picked the one that I think looks trashy and I can't boast of that I did. So when the client selected that, I told the client that I can't let you ruin your brand. Show it to maybe like 2 persons that you know have good knowledge of branding in your cycle. Maybe like someone that works in the creative part of a bank or a corporate industry. So she did that, and the people that she even showed it to more than 2 persons, because the second person she showed it to is like a group. So most people went for the one that I suggested. So she appreciated me more. I worked for quite a while with her because she began to trust my judgment even on things that she doesn't understand. You want to get to that point with the client. You don't want to be just a yes ma kind of freelancer. Remember that freelance work isn't a one size fits all. I have only shared my own experience with you. Trust your instincts from your experience and ignore the noise when necessary. Even this advice of mine is not absolute. No advice actually is. So if you find this video helpful, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to this channel for honest takes like this and valuable freelance advice and for your remote work and how to make money online legitimately. Then feel free to connect with me across other social media platforms. Yeah, though I seldom use Instagram, but yeah, I use TikTok actively. I am on Twitter, and which other platform is that? Yeah, you can just feel free to check it out. It's just a single. I'll see you in the next video.